Welcome to Engage New York, Eureka Math Grade 4, Module 3 Review Test with Mrs. Hefko. That's me. And we're on number 4. You can go back and look at my video for number 1, or for number 2, or for number 3. And here we are on number 4. Now, number 4 is a division problem. It says solve by drawing place value disks, but then it also says to solve numerically. So we're going to do it both ways, side by side. So drawing place value disks means that we need our place value chart. So we'll make a ones place, tens place. What comes next? That's right, a hundreds place. We go ahead and get our numbers set up here in place value disks. So 2 in the hundreds column, 2 in the tens column, and a 1 in the ones column. Then we use our red pen, right, to draw a squiggly line so that we can separate our original numbers from our divided numbers, right? And I need to know how many fighters I'm going to have, right? How many fighters are we going to have? We're going to have 3 fighters. Let's make those sections. There's 1, 2, and I like to make mine in a box so that there's no confusion about where my sections end. And then let's go ahead and name our fighters, right? Let's see here. I think we'll go ahead and make this Raul and Sarah and Ahmed. Oops. All right. So Raul, Sarah, and Ahmed are all walking down the road, right? And they're hanging out. And all of a sudden they come across 221 jelly beans. And they're like, oh, I want them. And Sarah says, no, they're all mine. And Ahmed grabs them and says, no, I want them. Right? So they're all arguing about what who they belong to. And then somebody says, ooh, or we could just divide them, right? Separate them equally between us. And so that's what division is taking these 221 jelly beans, right, and sharing them with each person. So they get to the hundreds problem, and they go, oh, well, this won't work at all. There's only 2, 1 for Raul, 1 for Sarah. Oh, we would get nothing. Well, that's not okay, right? So Mrs. Hefcoat says, I'll take the extras, right? The remainders can always go to me. Should they go to me? No, of course not. So they're going to get decomposed and put into the tens place, right? Show me on your fingers, how many will I put in the tens place when I decompose 100? That's right, 10. 10 will go into the tens place. So we draw those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we do it again for the other 100, right? Decompose that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'm going to stop right there and let's do it numerically, right? So to set it up numerically, that's the standard algorithm, right? And so we put 221 divided by 3, and then when I need to do the family, right? So our family is the dad, who stands for division. Who comes next? That's right, the mom, she stands for multiplication. Who comes next? That's right, the sister reminds us to subtract. Good. Who comes next? The brother. Yeah, it reminds us to bring down. And then the last one is our dog Rover, who tells us to repeat or go all the way up and start with dad again, or to check for a remainder, right, depending on where we are. Okay, so we have 2 divided by 3. That's our first step. But as we saw, that equals 0 because you wouldn't get anything, right? 0 times 3, right? I put a little times table out here, times symbol, to remind me to multiply 0 times 3 is 0. Sister says subtract. I get 2. Brother says, well, bring down the next 2 then. And Rover says, let's start all over. So 22 divided by 3. So look, that's what I have here in the tens place is 22. So let's divide it amongst our 3 fighters, right? I'm just going to change my color to try to help me keep track of everything. And so we start. I am going to take a little shortcut. I see that I have 1, 2, 3 rows of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and give each fighter a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually 50 each, right? They've got a lot of jelly beans. Now I need to count by 1. So I'm going to go 10, 20, 30. You go 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! I see an extra. So the remainders all go to Mrs. Heathcote, right? So is that a remainder in the tens place? No, you're right. I don't get it at all. So this one gets decomposed and goes into the ones place. Show me on your hands. How many do I put in the ones place? That's right, 10. It is not an accident that we have 10 fingers and that we put 10 when we decompose. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to change colors again to make sure I don't get confused as I cross out. Let's cross out 3 at a time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2 left over. Right? Look at that. So the answer here is going to be 73 with a remainder of 2 for Mrs. Heathcote. I love that part. So let's look at that. We had 22 in the tens place, and it turned out to be 7 each. So let's put that here and see if it works. Next step is Mom. She says to multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. And we subtract. Subtract, and I get 22 minus 21 is 1. Brother says, hey, bring down that 1. We bring down the 1, and now we divide again. Rover says, go back to the top. 11 divided by 3. You can skip count if that helps, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 would be too much, so 9 is the one I'm looking for. So that took me 3 times. You can also look back at our place value chart. It shows that we have 3. 3 goes above the ones column. Mom says you better multiply that, double check. So 3 times 3, right? I'm not going to leave those lines because I don't want it to get confusing. But I do want to make sure you know that we're multiplying for 3 times 3 equals 9. Sister says, hey, subtract that. 11 minus 9 is 2. I like to double check that when I get confused sometimes. So 9 counting up, 10, 11. Yeah, we're good. And then Rover says, brother says bring down, but there's nothing to bring down. There will be in 5th grade, but not in 4th. So there's nothing to bring down. So Rover says, fine, it's a remainder. We remember to put our remainder up here on the top line. Oops. And then, check it out. Doesn't matter how you do it. Place value chart, 73 remainder to solve standard algorithm or numerically. 73 remainder of 2. Nicely done. That's number 4. Come on back for number 5. Don't forget to hit the next video just up here, and you can subscribe if you want to know when I upload more.